follow me.
Jesus, please come back.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.
And now the host, Calvin Logan.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank you all for watching a special episode here at the Logan Power Show. As we know, revelation times, we're seeing constantly things are coming about, things are happening, and we know that we don't know exactly when Jesus is coming back, but we know when that time does come, things are going to shift and change. As we know, we're keeping our prayers. We're make sure we're staying in front of the Lord's face. But I'm excited for what God is moving. I got with me a woman of God. She's on a new movie that's coming out in the month of October. We're excited about what's going to happen. She's going to talk about the new movie. It's called The Rapture, and she plays the role of Jessica, the one and only Mrs. Jada Grice. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. As you know, we talk revelation is something real. We know that it can be very an eye opener because people say, like, when are these things are going to change? When you decided to say I'm getting on this project and it's called The Rapture, were you a little bit nervous or were you excited? So, I'm really gonna make a real change when it comes to the film industry.
Oh, well, actually, when he first said about the short film, I wasn't sure what it was about. And then I looked over like the script and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because my sister and I had just had a conversation like a couple of days prior. We were talking about my mom keeps talking about how, Jesus is coming back soon. This, it doesn't matter, he's coming back soon or whatever. And we we're both like kind of like nervous about it. And we were talking. And it was just kind of funny that that's what the film was about. We were both like, we accepted, Jesus into our life and everything like that. But it's like, but she's like, I'm worried about my dog. Like, what's going to happen to my dog or whatever. So it was just kind of cool that that's what happened to be what the film was about. So I think it made it seem even more real, like playing that role of like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. Like, did I get left? So yeah. So I think, my character is definitely very emotional, which this would be an emotional time, if you were left on this earth with lots of crazy things happening. So yeah. And then, yeah, so it was just really cool that I told TK about that, and I told the other cast members. They were like, oh my gosh, that's definitely like so God that y'all were just having this conversation, and this is what the short film was about. So
Absolutely. When you think about your role as a person that gives to the church, you're always you're a giver, but you're not really, I said, per se, like living it based off the character Jessica. You see that a lot. You see a lot of believers. You see people say, "When I give, I give to God, but I'll come to the Lord when I feel like it. I do give when I want. When I'm a giver, but I'm not being involved with that." So, what was, I guess, you knew this particular character was sort of something that that you could really dive into and be a part of it. Certain roles you say, like, that's not me. Because it seemed like was watching the trailer that is you. So when did you realize that this particular role fits your personality, but also takes another level to bring the audience into this great experience?
wow, you got hard hard questions. Well, I guess from personal experience and then how Jessica is in the film, I've never once thought that money would buy my way into heaven or whatever. But on the aspect of being terrified and scared and questioning things, it's almost like I would like kind of psych myself out, like as if it was really happening, and like thinking about the conversation I had with my sister and stuff. Um, so yeah, and now I don't even know if I even answered your question or not.
Oh no, you answered it just well. I think I think a lot of times what we do is you just your humility is saying to yourself like, I can't buy my way into heaven, but your character is sort of like I'm gonna buy my way into heaven. So it's like a total polar opposites of each other. Like your real you is, that's not me, but the character is somebody who you're playing. When people do see this film, do you believe that people are going to get closer to their faith, or would it be like, oh, it's another film? This is just a hoax. In your personal opinion?
Well, honestly, I think that it's going to be a very powerful film. And I think that's kind of the way TK wrote it and produced it, is for it to have a positive impact on people and kind of like a wake up call almost. For a lot of people who, you know, may not think this isn't real, this isn't going to happen or whatever, but I think it's going to be really powerful. Even like, I know this might sound weird, but like listening to myself on that one trailer where I'm like, Jesus, come back or whatever, and I'm like really, upset, like it gives me chills, and that was me the one saying it. So I feel that it's going to have that effect on people that are going to be like, okay, wow, yeah, I think it's time to like really buckle down and get serious about, the real reason that we're all here on this earth until then.
Absolutely. For yourself, when did you first become in love with film, like in becoming an actress? When did it become something that you say, I've got a passion for it? When did you first fall in love with being on the screen?
Probably after the first time that we met. So we had been filming for Trial of Injustice, which will come out the end of the year around Christmas time. And my friend Matt messaged me on Facebook and asked me about filming. And I was thinking, how crazy is this? So I said, okay. And then I got on the phone with TK, and then I met them. And then I was like, this is a lot of fun. And like, it's crazy that like I went into it, kind of like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And I wasn't like nervous. And I was like, felt really good doing it and stuff. And I was like, this is fun. And it gives me a break from my toddler. So that's nice. And I was like, I just want to do more and more. And I can tell as the year's gone on, because we've been filming practically the entire year for Trial of Injustice and then Rapture, that I can tell that I've gotten like a little bit better. Like I got more comfortable. So it's fun, and I'm just excited and grateful for the opportunity and see where it goes.
Absolutely. When you look at film, you see, I was given the opportunity, and I'm falling in love with it. Is there any particular actress or actor that sort of like you inspired you? Like some people that you said, like, I like the way this person's career has taken themselves. I want to go in sort of this particular route. Or is it something like you're saying, well, hey, I'm just throwing myself in the hat situation, and I just fell into this? Is there somebody particular career pathway that you've seen in watching the movies that you say, I want to go this route in your career?
Honestly, no, because I never really had any goals or aspirations to do any type of acting. Of course, I did like little plays here and there at church growing up or whatever, but like as far as this right now, it was totally unexpected. So I'm just kind of excited to see where it goes from here.
Okay. For you being a wife, being a mother, and a woman of faith, um, has this movie sort of made your faith stronger and has made you sort of like got you more into the word of God, or is it like a wake up call to you as doing this movie in your humble opinion?
I think it was probably around the same time it was like a wake up call, kind of like, ever since I had my son, um, and that was during COVID, so like people weren't really going anywhere or going to church, so it was kind of like you had to watch church, you know what I'm saying? And just the whole new mother thing and wife, all that happened in the same year. So it's been a wake up call, and it's like I want to be a good example, a godly example for my son, for him to grow up in a household that, knows and loves God. So, yeah, I think it was, I grew up in church, and then, different phases of life, you may fall out and you're like, okay, I need to get back to it. And this was kind of like literally right before the film, because me and my sister were like, okay, let's pick out a devotional book, let's hold each other accountable, let's do this, so it's just, I don't know if it's funny, but it's ironic, or I don't know what the right word is, but it all kind of happened, like reconnecting and all like around the same time as this film. And it's like, okay, lots of people are going to see this, and this is real. And yeah.
Okay. Now I know the movie's coming out next month in October. That's very exciting. I know the family's going to be the first time to see it. Are you a little bit nervous being seen on the big screen and having family and friends to see for the very first time on the big screen? Any nerves coming your way?
Yeah, excited and also nervous, because it's like, oh my gosh, did I do a good job, or am I like cheesy? Like, did I try to act like I was a certain way, like I was upset, but then it was like, that's horrible acting. Sometimes when you watch like certain movies, you're like, wow, that's really bad acting. That's what I'm thinking about. Like, I don't want my friends and family to be like, she says she's been doing this for a little bit, and it's like, eh, uh, good try.
I get it. I get it. Final thought. This movie, the head of the actual movie, the actual head title of it, is an eye opener. What do you want people to get after watching this film? What do you want a viewer to get the main focus, in your humble opinion?
Okay. You really have good good questions. I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, so after watching this film, I would hope that people, coming from the way I was right before this film, I feel like I would hope that people would have their eyes open, kind of like a wake up call, and be like, okay, this is serious, and I want to have a relationship with God and live my life for Him until He takes me.
Absolutely. For those that are watching us right now, I know a lot of us, you don't take nothing for granted. You don't know when the Lord is coming back, like a thief in the night. We know that the Bible talks about wars and rumors of wars. We know things have got to happen for things to manifest. You don't want to be left behind. As you can see, Jessica was running through, and a lot of it may seem silly, but it's not silly when the loved ones that you love the most get to see don't get to see you. You don't get to see them. The rapture is just that is a phase of a wake up. That's when real life is going to really hit, and that we have to understand that there's no such thing as that. Oh, now they were serious. Now I see it's not a game. It's not a joke. So for those that are watching, I want you to support. Remember again, it's coming. really soon. We're excited about the Rapture. It's going to hit to us on next month. In the month of October, I want you all to support. I want you all to understand this, that us as believers, we got to take this Bible serious and understand that God is real. There is a hell, there is a heaven, and we got to make sure what side we're on. That's all the time I got. My name is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We'll see you soon.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.